What's up, y'all? It's your boy PN here, representing the independent wrestling circuit and cameos. One of my favorite folks, one of my favorite peeps. Just subscribe to them. I suggest you subscribe back to them at Independent Wrestling Circuit and Cameos. You know, being a guest correspondent on their channel, you know, being the fly guy that I am with the wrestling knowledge encyclopedia that's in this noggin, he asked me for some quality questions for this week for the independent wrestling circuit and cameo community. Whew, that was a tongue twister a little bit. Anyway, 3 random questions for the independent wrestling circuit and cameos community. Question number 1, thoughts on Paige's comeback? You know, I love Paige. I feel like we all grew up with her. You know, she basically sparked the women's revolution, you know, the women's wrestling revolution. She was basically like the John the Baptist of that, where, you know, Becky Lynch is like the Jesus of the women's revolution, kind of. That kind of sounded sacrilegious. It wasn't. It was very respectful, you know, comparing the women's wrestling's revolution to, you know, Christianity. But the point is, Paige is a really talented lady. She's really smart. She's really strong. And this is probably her last run, so I'm going to enjoy it. And she's already a tag team champion. So wow. Her and Brie Bella, let's see what they do. I think they're still champions, right? I'm not sure. I don't have cable, so I have to rely on the dirt sheets more, or like, you know, i.e. the library when I go there to use the internet. But yeah, I'm very excited about Paige's comeback, and I can't wait for her to headline WrestleMania next year against Rhea Ripley in a battle of like goth chicks from like, you know, the prior era to the now era. So yeah. Hopefully Paige becomes a bad guy again. I like Paige as a bad guy. It's very interesting. No, I shouldn't. I like Paige as a good guy. But when she, you know, she's a bad guy, she's kind of hot. Sorry, PN's into bad girls. You know how it is. You know, when you're a good guy, gets attracted to bad girls and not vice versa. Right? Never mind. PN's not really good at relationship advice, and this is not about that. All right, we're already running along. All right, thoughts on Backlash's main event, Jacob versus Roman, and rate that match. That was a pretty good match. Interesting ending with Roman, you know, hitting Jacob Fatu on the exposed turnbuckle. I don't know what's going on there. It's a match between tweeners. You don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, but I'm rooting for both of them. Jacob Fatu is, you know, fixing his life up. He was in jail. Now he's not in jail, and he's trying to feed his family. Very relatable, except the jail part. Roman Reigns, you know, he's the tribal chief. Acknowledge him. The tribal chief. So I'm glad that this feud is still going. I think it's still going. And we'll see what happens, though. But, yeah, I want to see a rematch. I think Jacob Fatu has a plight here. He has a case. So I think he needs to go to, you know, Nick Aldis or, you know, the other guy, the bald guy, and state his claims about getting a rematch. You know what I'm saying? But I give that three stars. A solid 3 stars. 3 stars. 3-star match. Are you excited for the John Cena Classic debut? I'm still kind of confused on what it is. Okay? So apparently, it's like a King of the Ring, except a little bit of Cyber Sunday with a little bit of Taco Tuesday. And then all of a sudden, if you lose, you could still win the championship. What? Can I toss my hat in the ring? You know, like I don't even have to wrestle and I could be the champion. You know what? I'm tossing my hat in the ring. Vote for PN to be the first WWE John Cena Classic Invitational Champion. The first champion to not even wrestle. Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, I'll take a participation trophy, okay? I will. I will take a participation wrestling championship belt, okay? I need all the confidence and all the, you know, happy as I can get, okay? It's a very dark world out there, so if you want to vote for me in a John Cena classic, please do. Still confused about it, but hey, if even the losers can win, count me in, all right? Thank you, Independent Wrestling Circuit and Cameos. I always love doing a spot at your shows and your content platform. Follow Independent Wrestling Circuit Cameos. Like and subscribe. Comment on his comments. Like his comments. And share his content because he's a good, solid dude. PNSO.